Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special guest, my brother, and we will be talking about the college admissions process. So I applied as a freshman this year, and it's 2019, and my brother applied as a transfer student.
Yes.
So basically my camera kind of cut out, but my brother talked about how he got into Berkeley and I also got into Berkeley. So we're both going to Berkeley next year as students, and we're going to be together.
We're both going to Berkeley next year. So yes, my brother and I are both very excited to be going to Berkeley next year. I'll be class of 2023 and he'll be class of 2021.
We graduate on time.
Yeah, if we graduate on time. But as you guys probably know, the UCs are kind of impacted, so it might take us a little bit longer than the 4 years. So now we're going to kind of talk about the whole application process and what to do. So I'll talk about freshman application and my brother will talk about transfer application in more detail. Exactly what you have to do, because entering my senior year I was very wary about what to do and I didn't know that much about anything. I didn't even know what the Common App was until my junior year towards the end, so we'll kind of talk to you about that today. Okay, so for the Common App, it's basically most of the private institutions use the Common App or the Coalition app. That you can pick which one, and I only did the Common App. So for the Common App, they give you like 5 options and you can kind of alter it to fit whatever you're writing, because there's so many options, and you pick one and it's a big essay, and I think it's about 600 words if I remember correctly. So that's like one big essay for the Common App. And then each school will have supplemental essays, which are smaller essays. Some schools don't require supplemental essays, but most do. So for the Common App, you just write that one big essay for all your schools. You enter in all your extracurriculars and activities, your birthday, your name, your address, all of that. And that goes for all the schools. And then all you have to do for each little one is do the supplemental essays or whatever little questions they have. So it's pretty easy with the Common App because all the schools take the same thing.
I applied to 2 schools, and that was Boston University and University of San Diego. But the transfer, it was the same for both transfers and freshmen, I want to say. But I applied in the spring, so it was a little bit different because I was applying to go in as a spring admit. But Boston University is weird because they had me send in, as a transfer student, all of my syllabi from all my past classes. So this was a pain because I had most of them in Canvas, but I did have to email a few professors to get the syllabus from them. And then to send out all, about 20 or 15 of them to Boston, which was kind of a pain. But I sent it to them and then filled out the Common App. It's pretty simple. They've got the essay questions. This time around I did have a college counselor look it over, but I sent it to her the day before the applications were due, so she just kind of proofread it. She didn't really do much to it. And they let me know pretty quickly, within like 2 or 3 weeks. So that was good. Pretty simple, the Common App.
Common App was pretty easy, and for Common App, for freshmen you can either apply early action, early decision, or regular decision time. And early action is non-binding, which basically means you can apply early and find out early, which has its benefits and its downfalls because it helps you figure out what you want quicker and you get your decisions earlier, but then you can also be rushed and it may not be as good. Early decision is binding, which means if you get in, you have to go no matter what, even if the financial aid package isn't good. But early decision usually has a greater acceptance rate because it shows that you really, really want to go there. So that might work for really top tier schools like Ivy Leagues, Stanford, and all that fun stuff. Did you like the Common App application?
I think it was simple. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the teacher recommendations, which I think is good to have because it's extra things that can help you get in. But the process was a little bit difficult because you had to go ask your teacher, you had to send them an email, and then they would get an email from Common App, and then you'd just be waiting, and then it would pop up and you would see that they submitted it. So it's just an extra step, which is beneficial, but it's too much work.
And make sure you check how many teacher recommendations or extracurricular people your particular school requires, because I didn't realize that Stanford requires like 2 or 3 teachers, I think, and I only had 1 at the time, so I had to go and ask another teacher. So now we'll go into the UC application process. So the UC application, there's no early action or early decision. It's all due by November 30th for freshmen. Was that the same for transfers?
I think so.
I think it was, yeah, November 30th, I believe, for everybody. So they give you 8 essay options, and you pick 4 of them, and each of them are 350 words.
Yeah, so I didn't have my college counselor review those essays, but I had my roommate review, because we both did the essays together in like the living room. We probably should have put more time into it, but I kind of got what I wrote in the Common App and tailored it a little bit towards the UC app, which is good and bad because I already wrote it in his proofread, but the UC app was asking completely different questions. And then I wrote another essay too, and it was easy. What I spent more time was on the extracurriculars, because I felt that it was important to add this for the UC.
So basically my camera battery died, and it took me a couple hours to charge it back up, and my brother's not available to talk anymore, so I'll just finish up the rest of this video and kind of share with you my process some more and some tips I have for you guys and all that fun stuff. Also, sorry for the lighting change, because it's much later now. We don't have as much natural nice lighting. So yeah, the UC application was pretty simple. It was very similar to the Common App application, and there were some of the same things, such as you can write the same thing for the extracurricular activities and jobs and things like that, and then also same kind of information for your birthday, your name, your address, all of that. And the essays are fairly similar-ish. You can combine some of the stuff from your Common App into the UC, but because the topics are pretty different, you will have to put a lot of time and effort into each. So now I'll give you guys kind of some tips on working on your application, some things I suggest, and just a recap of my experience with college applications and admissions. So I highly suggest that you start on your application early. If you're watching this video, I'm probably guessing that you're a freshman, sophomore, or junior, and that's great that you're even watching this to begin with, because that means that you're interested in learning about the process more, because like I said, I didn't even know what the Common App was until my junior year, which was not good. During my junior summer, I started looking into the applications and what was required of it, what kind of essays I needed to write, so I started brainstorming what I thought I could write about, some topics. I didn't seriously get down and really write it until the beginning of my senior year, but I did make rough drafts. I kind of made outlines, thought about what I'd write, you know, just kind of have it in the back of your mind. Don't keep putting it off, because you do need to get some brainstorming down. On that note, I think the brainstorming phase of all of this is much more important than just writing. You don't have to have cured cancer, obviously. You don't have to have like created your own programs, or even, you know, you don't have to have anything super spectacular, but you have to have an idea of what you're trying to get across and what you want to write and how you want to write it, which I think are the most important parts of your essay. With that said, I am a very studious person, and I think I'm a pretty good student, but the thing is, I just simply don't have the best grades. I don't have a 4.0, I don't have a 15 or 1600 SAT, I didn't get all 5s on my AP tests or anything like that, but I did really work hard. But the fact is, I just wasn't up to the standards of schools like Berkeley, in my opinion, grade-wise. Having said that, it means that my essays probably stood out to the college, or my extracurriculars, or something I did. For years, I always heard people say that colleges look at you holistically. They don't just care about your grades and points and what's on paper. And it's true, okay? So if you're watching this, listen to me, because it is true. I never believed it before, but it's true. What you write and what you have to say mean a lot, and it's not just your grades that will get you in. So work on the essays, and you don't need a professional tutor. You don't need a college counselor. I didn't have any of that. I had myself. I had I had one teacher read over one of my UC essays. I had my dad reread my essays, of course, for proofreading and kind of structure. I don't mean to make this come off as braggy, because that's not what I'm trying to do. It's just, I worked pretty hard on my essays, and if you do that, you have the potential in getting in somewhere. I wish I had applied to more colleges that were not just safeties, but more of reaches, because now I realize that your essays matter a lot, and it's not just your grades. So yeah, that was my experience with the whole application process, and I hope this video helped you guys if you're an incoming freshman or a transfer student into college. If you guys have any questions for me or my brother, leave it down in the comments and I'll make sure to reply or ask him to reply. Thank you guys for watching.